Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So far 4 videos I have completed on theory of unit number 2, that is preparation of financial statements. First video I have explained you about capital and revenue expenditure, then one video on depreciation, then procedure of making the financial statements. Next one video on format of trading profit and loss account. Now in this video I am explaining you about the format of balance sheet and the differences between trial balance and balance sheet. These are the frequently asked theory questions in examination. So before proceeding to make the financial statements, you must know the basics, the procedure, the meaning of different concepts, the purpose of making different types of financial statements. That's why these videos are very, very important. Without understanding all these things, I suggest you should not go to solve the problems. Now, before starting the explanation of this format and differences, take the screenshot, then I'll explain. Now, first of all, I'm starting with the format of balance sheet. Here I'm explaining the balance sheet of a sole trading concern or a partnership, not the balance sheet of a company. For companies, the format will be entirely different. It's mandatory that every company must prepare the balance sheet according to the format prescribed by the Companies Act. Later on, in the coming videos, I'll explain about the format of company balance sheet. Here I'm explaining only about the balance sheet of a sole trader or a partnership, right? Now, there are two forms of balance sheets, horizontal and vertical. Earlier, traditionally, we used to prepare balance sheet in a horizontal form. Left-hand side liabilities, right-hand side assets. But nowadays, the balance sheet is mostly prepared in a vertical form, because vertical form of balance sheet has an advantage over horizontal form, because the vertical form of balance sheet will be more suitable for analysis purpose. For analyzing, for preparing cash flow, funds flow, ratio, a number of techniques, it is convenient to prepare the balance sheet in a vertical form. So first of all, horizontal form. In horizontal form, left-hand side liabilities. So in liabilities, we'll take the capital. To capital, we add the net profit and we deduct the drawings. So add net profit minus drawings. Suppose if interest on capital is given, that interest on capital will be added. And interest on drawings are given, suppose interest on drawings will be deducted, right? So ultimately the capital at the end of the year will be put in the column. Then non-current liabilities, long-term liabilities. This example of long-term liability is bank loan. If it is there, we'll take. Then current liability. Current liabilities are those liabilities which are payable within a period of 1 year. The liability which are due for payment within 1 year are called current liabilities. Example of current liabilities are sundry creditors, or it is also called trade payable, bills payable, outstanding expenses, bank overdraft, etc. So any liability which is becoming due within 1 year, which is payable within 1 year, current liabilities. So by watching this video, you will get in mind what are the items that will come on the liability side. Now, asset side. Assets are broadly classified again into 3 categories: fixed assets, non-current investments, and current assets. The fixed assets, example of fixed assets are goodwill, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, fixture, motor vehicle, patents or trademark, etc. These are the few illustrative examples I have given. Any other fixed asset, any other asset may be fixed asset, but most frequently we can come across these are the fixed assets. Non-current investments. Suppose in the problem non-current investment, long-term investment. The business has invested their money on long-term basis. That is called long-term investment. If it is there, we'll take. Then current assets. Current assets are those assets which are convertible into cash within 1 year, or circulating assets. The assets will not remain same always. It will go on change. So some assets will be converted into cash, some cash into assets, like that. So here the examples of current assets are closing stock or closing inventory. Then debtors or trade receivable, bills receivable, short-term investment, prepaid expense, cash at bank, cash in hand. These are the few examples of current assets. If you do not commit any mistake, if you correctly follow the double entry system of bookkeeping, then the total of liabilities and the total of assets will get tallied. This is all about horizontal form. Now vertical form of balance sheet, the same is there. Instead of taking side by side, one item will take above, one item will take below. One below the other we will take the assets and liabilities. That is vertical format. So here format of balance sheet vertical. First of all, particulars, amount. Remember, it is not an account, it is a statement. Right? So only two columns are required, inner column, outer column. Inner column for making all calculations, then taking the final total in the outer column. Capital and liabilities. So here capital. In this capital we adjust all, add net profit minus drawings, add interest on capital minus interest on drawings if it is there. Then non-current liabilities, bank loan. Current liabilities, sundry creditors, bills payable, outstanding expense, bank overdraft, etc. All these items are taken in the inner column. Take the total in the outer column. Now find out the total. Capital, non-current liability, current liability will get the total of the capital and liability side. This must be equal to the total of assets. So assets again divide into fixed assets. Then land and building, plant and machinery, furniture, fixture, motor vehicle, etc. Any fixed asset will be taken under fixed assets. Non-current investment if it is there. Then current assets, closing stock, sundry debtors, bills payable, bills receivable, prepaid expense, short-term investment, cash at bank, cash in hand. These are few examples of current assets. Take the total in the outer column. Now find out the total. Fixed assets, non-current investments, current assets will get the total. If you do not commit any mistake, then total of liabilities and total of assets must be equal. Here this is the total of liabilities and here is the total of assets. Both should be same. This is the format of balance sheet, horizontal form as well as vertical form. Now, one more question frequently asked in examination is regarding the differences between trial balance and balance sheet. Both are different statements with different purposes. The trial balance will be prepared by taking all ledger account balances. At the end of the year, we find out what is the balance in every account of the ledger. Some accounts may show debit balance, some accounts may show credit balance. We take all debit balances in one column, all credit balances in another column. If the trial balance get tallied, all the debits equal to all credits, that might arithmetically the books of accounts are correct. It is not 100% proof. There may be some errors even after tallying the balance sheet, even after tallying the trial balance. But normally, if the total of debit and credit are same, we assume there is no arithmetical errors in the books of account. So after preparing the trial balance, we proceed to make the financial statements like profit and loss account and balance sheet, right? So it will help. Trial balance will help or facilitate in making the financial statements. That is the purpose of trial balance. But the balance sheet is the final statement which shows the financial position of the business, how much the business holds and how much the business owes. That will be known by preparing balance sheet. Here in tabular form I am explaining the differences. First difference, it's a statement of our debit and credit balances from the ledger. The trial balance contains all the debit and credit balances taken from the ledger, whereas balance sheet lists down the assets and liabilities of the business. First difference. Second difference, it is mainly prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy of the books of accounts, whether arithmetically correct or not. To check that, we make the trial balance. And here the balance sheet is mainly prepared to find out the financial position of the business or worth of the business. Then third difference is it shows the balances of all accounts. In ledger we have so many accounts. The balances of all accounts are correct or not. For that purpose, we'll take all account balances will take it. Whether it is a personal account, real account, nominal account, any type of account, all account balances will be taken in trial balance. Whereas in case of balance sheet, we consider only real account and nominal account. Sorry, real account and personal account. Nominal account balances will not be taken in the balance sheet. Nominal account balances will be transferred to profit and loss account. The nominal accounts normally will get closed by transferring it to profit and loss account. So only real account and personal accounts are left, and those accounts will be taken in the balance sheet. Next, it is prepared monthly or quarterly or half yearly or annually before making trading profit and loss account. So trial balance will normally be prepared periodically. Some business will prepare weekly, some monthly, some quarterly, some half yearly, some yearly, and yearly it is compulsory before making the trading profit and loss account. So at any time we can make the trial balance. But in case of balance sheet, it will not be prepared every week or every month like that. Balance sheet normally will be prepared at the end of the year. It does not show any closing stock. One of the differences, trial balance does not show the closing stock. Closing stock will be taken in the adjustment. After making the trial balance, we find out the closing stock. But in case of balance sheet, the closing stock is a part of the balance sheet. Next, it is prepared for internal purpose. Normally, trial balance is not for any use of the outsiders. The trial balance will be prepared only for the use of the business management. Only the business management requires trial balance, or accountants will require trial balance to check the arithmetical accuracy. That's why it is only of the internal usage. Whereas the balance sheet may be used internally as well as externally. The management will use the balance sheet as well as the outsiders, the stakeholders will use the balance sheet. So these are few differences between trial balance and balance sheet. Inshallah, we'll continue the next topic in the next video. So if you're satisfied with my lecture, give a like to the video, share my channel in your group, in your friend circle, so that more students can watch the video and enhance the knowledge. Give a like to the video, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and buy the super thanks which is given below my video. Inshallah, we'll continue the next topic in the next video.